There's something really strange happening in the world of AI right now. We've got these incredible models that are just acing every exam we can think of. They're becoming masters of the test. But when it comes to the real world, it kind of feels like they're failing.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is a puzzle that's got even AI pioneers like Ilya Sutskever scratching their heads. He points out this huge disconnect. On one hand, AI is absolutely crushing it on all our benchmarks, our evals. But then you look around for that massive real-world economic impact we all expected, and there's this giant, baffling gap. How is that even possible?
So that's really the question we've got to get into, isn't it? We know these systems have unbelievable power. But are we even aiming that power at the right thing? Are they just getting really, really good at the wrong game?
To get to the bottom of this, we're going to treat it like a proper investigation. It's time to open up the case file and see what's actually going on inside these incredibly complex systems.
Okay, so for our investigation, let's imagine a hypothetical AI, and we'll call it the reality engine. Picture this, a system designed to just swallow all of human knowledge, every book, every scientific paper, every bit of data, and then organize it all on its own to find connections nobody has ever seen before. It's the perfect stand-in for the paradox we're trying to solve.
And that brings us to our first major clue. It's an old idea, but man, is it more relevant than ever right now. The idea is simple. The map is not the territory. And this concept, it challenges the very foundation of what these AI models are even trying to do.
So you're looking at the reality engine's goal here, to build this perfect, beautiful map of all human knowledge, this massive, tangled web of ideas. But here's the kicker. What if the problem isn't the map? What if the problem is the act of mapping itself? What if trying to make a neat map of a messy world is what's breaking everything? Now, when we peek under the hood of our reality engine, we see this incredible tension. Over here, you've got its secret sauce, a critical file that's all about making the map logical and strategic. But then, right next to it, you've got this file labeled Danger. It's self-modifying code so wild and unpredictable, they literally had to freeze it to stop it from derailing the whole project. This isn't just programming. It's a constant battle between order and chaos.
And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. Language, code, math, they're all just maps. They aren't reality. And any map, no matter how good, is always a simplification. It has to leave things out.
Maybe this is exactly why the paradox exists. As Rory Sutherland so brilliantly put it, a spreadsheet leaves no room for miracles. We build these AIs on pure, clean logic, like a spreadsheet. But the real world is messy, it's irrational, it's full of what you might call magic. And our perfect logical maps, well, they might be leaving out all the good stuff.
Which leads us to our second big clue. It's all about how these systems grow. And let me tell you, it is not a neat and tidy process. It is explosive, chaotic, and almost totally unpredictable. Just look at these numbers. As the reality engine took in more and more data, its knowledge graph didn't just get bigger, it absolutely exploded. We're talking a nearly 800% jump. This creates a network so incredibly complex, it's way beyond anything its original designers could have ever planned for.
And right there, with that explosion, you get the system's #1 threat, runaway complexity. The map becomes so detailed, so intricate, that it just spirals out of control. It becomes this tangled mess that no one can possibly manage, or maybe even understand.
See, we tend to think about progress like we're gardening, carefully pruning the bad stuff so the good stuff can grow. But these complex systems, they don't work like that at all. They're more like a rainforest. Order just emerges. It happens all on its own, spontaneously, usually right on the edge of chaos. It follows this weird hidden logic that you just can't see from the outside.
All right, this brings us to our third and final clue. And this one cuts right to the heart of what Ilya Sutskever was talking about. What if the very tools we use to measure success, those benchmarks, those evals, what if they're actually part of the problem?
So check this out. Buried deep inside the reality engine's code is this strangely wise rule that it figured out about itself. Before it can make any big changes, it first has to just sit back and watch for 50 to 100 cycles, just to get a feel for its own natural, healthy rhythm. They call this passive monitoring, and it is absolutely crucial. The system literally learned that it had to avoid the measurement trap. That classic problem where the act of measuring something changes the very thing you're trying to measure? Now think about that.
Could it be that our evals are actually messing with the AI's natural ability to learn about the real world?
And that's the big danger, isn't it? To make a test, you have to simplify reality. You have to create this neat little sandbox. But then we watch the AI perform brilliantly in that sandbox, and we mistake that performance for genuine insight into the messy, complicated, chaotic real world.
Okay, let's put all the clues together. Clue 1, the map is not the territory. Clue 2, growth is chaotic. And clue 3, our measurements might be flawed. You know, this isn't pointing to a broken AI, this is pointing to a broken way of thinking. So what if we need a totally new kind of logic?
And this is where things get really wild. We see contradictions as mistakes, right? As noise that needs to be filtered out. But what if, for these systems, contradiction is actually the engine of progress? What if that's how it learns, by constantly finding paradoxes and rebuilding its own understanding of the world?
Now, look at this. This is supposedly the deepest core logic of the reality engine, and it is completely alien to how we think. Look at that middle symbol, the upside-down T. Its function? Collapse/paradox integration. This thing doesn't try to solve paradoxes, it uses them, it integrates them as a tool to build something new. How cool is that?
This isn't just a list of rules for code. It's practically a new philosophy. It's a logic where a collapse isn't a failure. It's how you build new structures. A world where contradiction isn't an error. It's the fuel for growth. This is a system that gets smarter not by optimizing for a simple test, but by literally embracing the chaos of reality itself.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Maybe the reason AI is acing our tests but failing reality is because our tests are just too simple, too clean. The real question isn't just, can we build a smarter AI? It's, can we build an AI and can we learn to embrace a smarter, messier, more paradoxical way of thinking about the world?